Hi everyone, it's John. I'm back with another scent review tonight. In fact, I wanted to post two, and they're both courtesy of a wonderful new service I think I've already mentioned once or twice that I recently subscribed to by the name of Scent Trunk. If anyone out there is interested in getting your nose on 3 new niche fragrances every month for a steal, $15 a month, in a wonderful presentation. Let me just show you the presentation. This was my first month's subscription, so I actually got a little teaser vial there. I don't think you get that every month. I haven't gotten my second month yet, so we'll see. But I think you just get 3 every month, and you get as well this little sort of black, actually very nice. You can put jewelry in it, I guess. My mom actually wanted it to put jewelry in. And you can sort of keep these in the box or whatever. And the bag actually has a sort of a nice smell all of its own. I don't know if it's another scent or something, but it was sort of olfactory overload. But anyway, so you see the 3 scents there. Also, my apologies for those of you who have already seen a Scent Trunk review. If I can get these out of here. Well, anyway, this is not actually the bottom of the box. This is a card. And since I have very short fingernails right now, I'm not actually going to be able to get them out. But these cards describe the fragrance. They describe the longevity, the sillage, the notes, the accords. They basically introduce you to the fragrance, tell you, ideal seasons to wear it in, all of that good stuff. That one came out kind of easily. So, here's the one for Panda, which is not going to be this review, but the next. You get the seasons, you get the time of day, all of that good stuff. And it has one for each fragrance. So that's the presentation, and I've been promising reviews of these things, and I actually wanted to post the first one I smelled, which is, actually this might be the second one I smelled, I forgot. The review I wanted to do first was this one. It's the Cobra and the Canary. Okay. The Cobra and the Canary was put out by Imaginary Authors, and there's a little, I guess it's about 2 mils that they give you or so. It's quite a generous sample. So thanks to my subscription to the scent box, whose praises I will continue to sing, the Cobra and the Canary is, I think it's the very first niche fragrance I ever smelled, first or the second. And, one of the very first ones I ever had a chance to put my nose on, and it may very well be one of the favorites. Not just favorite niches, that wouldn't be saying too much, but one of the favorite smells I've ever smelled. And let me just spend a little bit of time telling you why that is. Let me mention some of the notes. You might know some of these niche fragrances don't really go into top, middle, bottom. They just sort of give you notes, and you have to do some investigation on your own skin as to where they pop up. So just hold this up. The notes are, again, undifferentiated from top, middle, bottom. They're lemon, orris, tobacco flowers, leather, hay fields, and asphalt. So it was created in 2012 by a guy named Josh Meyer, who works for Imaginary Authors. And I wanted to read the press blurb for the fragrance. I'm going to read it for Panda too. I think they're just so cute and so much more poetic and fictive and well written than the sort of mass market gibberish you get on like the back of a Bulgari bottle, or the sophisticated man or whatever, that nonsense. So the press release for the fragrance reads, when a tip from a clairvoyant leads a 23-year-old Neil Orris, really? Orris? Really? I thought that was a bit on the nose. Anyway, Neil Orris to a rural Connecticut barn housing his deceased father's secret obsession, a 1964 Shelby Cobra Roadster. It's the getaway ticket he is desperately searching for. After liberating his best friend Ike from his dead-end job on the family farm, the two hit the open highway. Aiming for Palm Springs racetracks, their journey is a blur of seedy motels, cool swimming pools, hot debutantes, cocktails, and cigarette smoke. Each stop finds the friends inventing new pseudonyms and personas for themselves, their innocent game hurtling into the depths of decadence and desolation. So you can sort of get the picture that this story is trying to tell. I didn't really get decadence or desolation from it, but the whole I'll use the phrase later in the review too. Dog days of summer. That sort of nostalgic feel of summer that you remember your childhood being all about. I really get this from this scent. And let me tell you why. It opens with this sort of bright, grassy lemon and a very soft, dewy, kind of hippie-ish hay note that has a little bit of patchouli and incense going on in it too. And as always with men's fragrances, inevitably the citrus top goes away very quickly and becomes this sort of really interesting, subtle, luscious, believe it or not. You've probably never heard these two words together. Luscious rubber. Yeah, luscious rubber note. 3 words. Don't associate rubber with anything industrial or anything chemical or anything polyurethane-ish smelling. This is a very natural sort of tennis shoe on a tennis court smell. New tennis shoes, nothing rancid or gamey or gross. And on the top of all of this, there is, actually when it dries down a bit, not on top, when it dries down a bit, there's this tobacco note that's unlike anything I've smelled. Again, haven't smelled a lot of niche scents, but I'm trying to sort of educate my nose, and it's not a smoky tobacco. It's not a strong tobacco, and this is because the note itself is not actually tobacco. It's tobacco flower, which probably lends itself to the leather accord too, I'm guessing. And it's this leather that, again, kind of a high-end leather. It smells like it's from a really nice English or a French equestrian shop. Very, very nice, subtle, not a strong, oily, harsh leather. Very, very nice and in the background, but definitely there. And somewhat assertive, but not overpowering. And believe it or not, that leather note is almost citrusy. And I guess it's not too surprising to believe that it's floral, since it is a tobacco flower. But it has floral qualities to it. It's just absolutely stunning stuff. In the dry down, the leather tobacco flower thing never really quite goes away, and that's how it ends up slowly dying on my skin. Don't get me wrong, it has a nice longevity to it, 6-7 hours, with a few good hours of projection. So I think if you could distill the dog days of summer into a bottle or a vial in my case, into a singular scent, this would probably have to be it. I'm still young, still relatively young, but I've always had this fondness for nostalgia and this love of nostalgia, and this just brings it all back. What I remember summers being like when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Not that I ever had a 64 Shelby Cobra Roadster or anything, but the smell is it's intoxicatingly beautiful. For anyone who's interested in a tobacco that's not really used in a lot of the ways that tobacco seems to be popularly used now, which is with oud or, something really smoky or something that'll hit you over the head, this might be the tobacco-based fragrance for people who didn't think they liked tobacco-based fragrances. And I plan on treating myself to a bottle as soon as I possibly can and spending long, warm spring nights with my nose sort of buried in my elbow. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely check this out, and check ScentTrunk out too. A wonderful service. In fact, I'm going to tell them about this review on Twitter as soon as I get done posting it. But I think they've garnered a bit of attention here in the fragrance community, but perhaps not as much as they deserve. So check them out and see what you think of them. And check this out: The Cobra and the Canary by Imaginary Authors. Bye, guys.